Let me know um, when you can see it.
You are good to go.
Perfect. Thank you as always, Amy. We'll jump right into it. So my name is Patrick Fuzzarini. Thank you for joining here today. These sessions are always good fun. Um, I'm a solution consultant that works with the k-ecommerce team. Essentially, today we're presenting the k-ecommerce platform. It's a system that allows for e-commerce to happen, particularly in the business to business world. It's fully integrated to GP. So that means all that core data that you might find in GP in relation to customers, pricing, sales orders, invoices, and all the products, of course, that all automatically finds itself on your online system so that your customers can purchase from you quickly and efficiently. So that's what we're going to be walking through here today in the time we have. I'll essentially walk through a typical iteration of what a customer might see on the system, and then I'll finish it off by actually creating an order online, and we'll see what the result is in GP. So we're on a typical store that sells industrial parts, manufacturing goods, these sorts of things. And off the bat, we see that, it looks like a typical online e-commerce experience. If I need to venture anywhere, I can do so through categories, through search. And when I get to my products, you'll notice that I see these items here. However, we can't actually purchase anything. We see it says connect to view pricing. And that's all strategically set up because I've decided to allow the system to only accept registered customers on the system. So that means that once I sign in here, I may gain access to different pieces of information. So there's an important distinction here. If we want to go the B2B route like this, we can. We can also open it up to the general public as well so that both consumers and businesses can purchase in the system. It all depends on what the strategy is. Um, all that to say, as we're shopping online, you'll see that once I log in, I'm going to get a personalized or tailored experience. So that means the pricing that we'll see will pop up on the screen. And it'll be dependent on what my pricing is set up as in GP. Similarly, if I have certain products that I'm not allowed to purchase, then those will be hidden from my view so that I can only see what is available for me as a buyer to buy from. So let's go ahead and sign in. And when we do so, we'll get your typical sign-in page with the returning customer information and password. You get your email that you set up with your password. It's pretty easy to set up. Just from a customer setup perspective, we essentially sync all the data from GP, and then you'll have access to invite either all of your customer base or a select number of customers, depending on what your strategy might be. Right? We have some customers that from day one, they invite everybody. We have other customers that like more of a soft go live where they'll invite maybe their top 10, work off of that for a bit, and then keep going. Ultimately, we sign in. And when we do so, we have access to, in this case, select the account we're buying for today. Now, an important relationship that exists in our system that doesn't necessarily exist in GP is the idea that you can have many buyers within the same organization. So this relationship between customers and contacts, right? As a company, there might be 3 or 4 different people that all purchase on behalf of the organization. So the k-ecommerce system allows for that type of structure to exist so that each and every one of those individuals can have their own email address and password and log in on behalf of themselves for the company. Of course, all orders created by any of those will all end up under the same customer record in GP. But generally speaking, now that we've logged in, we have access to see my dashboard. So I get my latest orders, the top 5 order or the last 5 orders that I placed on my account, as well as some frequently ordered products that I, as a buyer, purchase on a regular basis. Right. So we get all the data right here. I'll see key pieces of information like the reference numbers, the status of these orders, as well as the total cost. So it's very easy for me as a customer to essentially see what's been shipped and what hasn't. If I want to open up that particular order to view more details on it, it'll open up and then we'll gain access to see any details on the shipping information. For some reason, it's taking a second to load here. But that's the general idea. Let me refresh this page. Um, just for time's sake, we'll keep going here. All that to say, we get our latest orders, the status of those orders that you see here, shipped, pending, and so on, all, I guess, update on a regular basis based on what's happening within the ERP. So that means, if I go back to it here, that means that as GP, that order goes from an order to an invoice in GP, as you add tracking information and so on, this status will automatically change as we make those adjustments. Now, if I'm the type of buyer who wants to buy something new, well, it's very easy. I just browse through those different categories, or I do a search for pretty much anything within the system, and we see the results once again. But you'll notice here that now that I am logged in, we have my price, we have my ability to add the items to the shopping cart, and even view inventory on a per inventory or per warehouse basis. So very quick and easy to find what I'm looking for, right? If I need to buy, the black version here today, I can go ahead and add that to my cart. And just like that, the black has been added. I already had an item in my shopping cart, so that's why you see there's a previous item here, and that stays in the cart forever until we want to go ahead and check it out. From there, we can continue our shopping experience, which is all good and well. Open up those items if we want to read more detail on them before making that final purchase. But you get an idea of what the flow is, right? All this core data like the title, product code, pricing, and so on, that all comes from GP. So you don't have to touch it. As those changes happen back office, they will automatically find themselves here. But of course, if you want to add additional info like long descriptions, images, you want to group certain product variants together, you want to have additional specifications, installation guides, you name it, all of this extra data can all exist in the online store, even though there isn't necessarily a place for it in GP. We talked about the cart already, and based off of that, what I'm going to do last is go to the quick order sheet. We've got about 7 minutes left. So when I go to the quick order tool here, let me do it here. When I go to the quick order tool, of course, we can order off of, categories, searching for items, and so on. But there's another tool I like to show here today, which is essentially a part number, order quantity, or order entry sheet, I should say. So what that means is I've got a list of my shopping cart here, but without leaving this page, I can essentially create a cart on the fly. And this is good for a situation where I might have, 10, 20, 30 line items that I have to order right now. So the idea is I can just input the code and quantity, and just like that, the item is in the shopping cart. I don't have to search for the item, add the quantity, and then click add to cart. I've seen people use this with barcode scanners as well, so it's quite efficient. And so essentially, as I said, you can just input the code and it'll pop up. If we don't know the code of the product that we want to add, we can open up a search panel here, search for pretty much anything on the system, and you'll see the results here. Just so happens that this is the one I want to add to cart. And there it is. We keep going. So a great, super efficient tool to find anything or to create a cart on the fly. You'll see here we can get product information and all the rest. But the real strength of this particular tool is if I keep a spreadsheet on the side of all of the items that I need to order. And historically, maybe I emailed this spreadsheet off to my salesperson who had to go into GP and one at a time start typing them up. With this type of feature, a customer or even a sales rep can simply copy 2 columns of their order sheet, the item code and the quantity, and then they all just have to paste them into our tool. And just like that, all of the items were added in one shot, as you can see here. It'll verify that there are no mistakes in the order. So in this example, this was an invalid item, doesn't exist. So it's showing me that that's the case. And then from here, we can proceed to the checkout page. Now, this information I'll just go through rather quickly, just given the time, but ultimately we've all shopped online before, so we know the typical shipping information. New addresses can be input into the system. We also have a pickup in store feature for anybody who has particular warehouses that they like to allow pickup at. And then shipping calculations are done through the carriers that you see on the screen. So we actually pull in the rates that these carriers might provide. And then we'll finish up this order by essentially selecting a payment method that can be used and make our way to confirm it. One note on payment information that's really crucial is that when the payment or the payment methods, I should say, that are available here are also on a per customer basis. So that means one customer qualifies for net 30 will see that maybe as an option here. But another customer who does not qualify for net 30 and has to pay, let's say, via ACH or credit card, will only see those options. So it's tailored once again. Confirming this order takes in the big part of the work where that order will be created in the back end within a few seconds, and then we can continue on. Lots happens in the background, but I'm going to pause here and change environments quickly to show you what it looks like actually in GP. So let me just refresh this page. I'm going to change screens in just about a second. So I'm in a different environment here, and this really serves as a twofold purpose. Instead of creating an order, pretending that we're a customer, we'll shift gears a little bit and pretend that I am a customer service rep or a salesperson. And I receive a call from my customer asking to place my order. Well, I could go into GP and type that order up, or I can use the k-ecommerce system to essentially log in on behalf of that customer. Let's say it's Adam Park Resort. And when I select that customer, I'll have the ability to impersonate any users within the system, in this case, Roberta. Impersonating them shows me that I'm logged in on their behalf, again, as a sales rep or a salesperson. And everything that we just went through is pretty much the same here. We get the order information, we see what they can purchase, and if they have questions about what price they should be getting or what have you, it's all accessible to them. But for today, what I'm going to do is pretty much just open up an old order here and order again, just given the time. So we see here with a couple of clicks, I'm able to recreate a shopping cart pretty efficiently. And then I can modify the quantity, update that, and place that order in a couple of clicks. The idea is that if I'm a returning customer, it's very easy for me to place orders for the same types of thing that I typically would. This is all information that we went through already. So when I make my way to the checkout of this, we see we'll put it on account once again and confirm. Now in the background, once an order is confirmed, it doesn't matter if it's internally, through a sales rep or the customer themselves. That order is created in GP within a few seconds under this web order number. And emails are sent out to all parties involved, both the customer and yourself, letting them know that an order exists or a new order was created. And this is the GP order number that we're looking for, 8259. So to finish today off, what I'll do is open up my GP, and you'll see that the order exists in the system as 8259. There's nothing new or different about GP. So we don't ask our customers to create new tables, new fields, new structures, change the way that they operate day to day. It's business as usual. All that really occurs is that more orders exist in the system through the online store. From here, you take it, you pick, pack, and ship it out, and you're good to go. With all that said, I'm going to pass it back to Amy because that's 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Patrick. I love how you make it easy.